All right, well, I guess we're up and running. It looks like some people are showing up. As usual, I have to wait for a few seconds to make sure that it'll upload. Hello, everyone. Today is the 17th of December, 2021. I'm Roy Potter, of course. Welcome as you come in. And this is a kind of an irritating day, so I thought I should come on and point out a few things. Number one is in the description box below. First of all, when I heard this, I couldn't believe it, considering everything that's going on. I had to wait till I could find it elsewhere. But in the description box below is an article by The Hill about Trump's speech there in Florida the other night, and O'Reilly being there and all of that. And I just am so frustrated and disgusted with these people and everybody that supports Trump at this point. Again, Biden's evil. We know he's taking us down a bad path. We know he's there lockstep with the New World Order and with everything bad that's going on. But these people that keep supporting Trump, and I'm going to especially hit AJ again today, I just can't understand it. And maybe that's why people dislike uh, when I talk about this, they say, no, Roy, you don't understand. He's our only hope. Well, if he's your only hope, that's pretty sad. But this is the deal. In this speech that he gave in Florida, he mentions two things that really stand out. The first is he's still taking credit and pushing those GMIs. He says they shouldn't be forced. Oh, yeah, that's easy for him to say, but the damage is already done, and it's because of him. I don't care what anybody says. My friends, relatives, associates, military officers, cops, I don't care. He sent us down this road. People say, well, he didn't know, Roy. He didn't know. He was taken advantage of by the scientists and the medical doctors. It's because he didn't ask for a second opinion. You're going to tell me that you're going to basically take off the life support of somebody without getting a second opinion of another doctor? Well, that's exactly what he did to our country and our people and the world for that matter. I don't want to hear any more BS about him not knowing. And even if that were the case, it would show that he's not capable as a leader, especially not of this country, any more than Biden is. And on top of that, as he showed in this speech in Florida the other night, he is still not telling people to avoid this thing at all costs, how dangerous it is, with all of the evidence out there. Even if he didn't know back in 2019, 2020, which I don't think is the case because of some other corresponding evidence, some other circumstantial and direct evidence that he was aware of what was going on. But even if he didn't, he does know now. His son Eric Trump was at a meeting with Dr. Martin in a conference room where he heard Dr. Martin give the background. And of course, Dr. Martin says, well, poor Trump didn't know. And I say, you're wrong, Dr. Martin. You're saying that because you're trying to stay in good graces with the next power player. Well, I don't do that. And I'm disappointed that people keep doing it. Not just him, everybody, including AJ, who, again, today, I listened to him today, seeing if he was going to say something about this other speech, and he didn't. And at least not that I heard. And then on top of that, he goes back and says, oh, Trump had this election stolen from him, and that's how terrible. We've got to remember that these people are so bad they stole it from Trump. Yeah, because Trump didn't do anything about it. And David Knight's really explained that. But on top of it, why is Alex going back to the election of 2 years ago? Well, a year ago, and 2 years ago for that matter. Why is he on that? And I know about the January 6th thing, and he's trying to show why they did that. I understand it. But people are dying now, AJ, and getting sick. And you said you would call him out, and you have not done it the way you should. Boy, I'm really hot today, and you're going to find out why here in just a minute. So, again, he takes credit for it. AJ should totally knock him out of the park by now and say he's an evil man. But AJ won't do that because he's got Roger Stone as a friend and all those other Trump supporters. So he's going to allow, he talks about, we got to stop this now because kids are going to die. and are dying. We got to stand up and do something about it now. And he still won't hold Trump's feet to the fire and burn his ass. God. I'm beginning to really, I'm gonna change the subject at the end of this live stream to give you some other viewpoints of history that you might find interesting. It's kind of from a spiritual aspect. For those of you who don't want it, you can go away, but we're not there yet, okay? So hold on. I got one more thing to say at least. Again, these supporters of Trump, they've got their heads up their ass, or they've got their head up Trump's ass, and they're not calling him out. He needs to totally go against this thing, and he won't. Well, that's the first thing. The second thing that he did, I could not believe my ears. Couldn't believe my eyes when I read it. He was asked if he would go after Hunter Biden if he got back in office. And you know what he said? He said, no, I don't want to hurt a family. What? Didn't we hear this same shit with Hillary Clinton? Oh no, they're good people. Remember that? Well, now I can't believe he came out and admitted that he's not going to do anything about it. No, I'm not going to go after the Bidens because I don't want to hurt a family. Oh, but it's okay for him to hurt hundreds of thousands and millions of families with his policies that have totally destroyed businesses' lives and everything else. And now he's willing to have children killed because it's his baby. And Alex, you are a demon. I don't care what else you say with your reset wars. I don't care what else you say about God or about the coming world for those who make it through this. If you don't call out Trump in no uncertain terms every single damn day for what he's doing, you're going to hell, buddy, because you know better. Remember, the scripture says, there will those who say, I am Christ. With their lips they speak, but their hearts are far from me. And all your crying and all of your disgusting placating to Trump is going to send you to hell, buddy. Damn you. And now this thing with Hunter Biden. Oh no, I don't want to hurt a family. He doesn't want to hurt a family. So he'll hurt the entire country. Hillary Clinton, how many of our people did she get killed because of what she was doing on the servers? Hunter Biden and Biden himself, how many people have died or have lost things or have gotten in all kinds of financial and other trouble because of what the Bidens have done around the world in China and Ukraine? And he's afraid of hurting a family? Trump? Damn you, Trump, you demon. So why am I so upset today? Well, that set me off already. I was actually not going to talk about it because I'm sick and tired of trying to get people to listen. And they won't. Even Alex Jones. So, with all of the information that I've given to family and friends and the information I've put forward here on my YouTube channel and on Twitter and on Gab and on Odyssey, talking to people in interviews, passing this information on to my friends, like I said, and my family, I found out in the last 24 hours that more of my family members have submitted to the jabs, the GMIs. And I ask myself, what the hell am I doing? I'm out here talking to the world. Granted, I'm not making a big dent. People that can never talk the truth. They always hold something back because of their own selfish interest or some strategic idea that they've got in their lame brain heads while people are dropping like flies all around them. and I'm out here doing this, what the hell am I doing it for? I can't even get my family to listen to me. So my youngest daughter now has succumbed to the pressure from her peers. And that she's not the only one. This is a weapons system, and it's been lobbied against us and lobbed against us in such a way that everybody practically is going along with it. And I think that I can help the world when I can't even get my own family, who call me nothing more than just a silly old man with a bunch of conspiracy theories. How many of them have been where I've done and done what I've done? Crimes unheard of in our history are being committed against mankind. And not even Ron DeSantis is really standing up against it. I mean, he kind of is, probably the best he can. But where the hell is Rand Paul? Ted Cruz? Where's people in the DOD that can say we can't go along with this anymore? We've got to take action whether old Austin will do it or not. Tough luck if they say we're treasonous. Well, they're treasonous, and they're killing people by the hundreds of thousands. And we're going to sit here and say, oh, it's just a medical procedure. That's political. That's not military. It's a political decision. Murder, if you're saying murder is a political decision, then you've already described what I learned in my officer training. That war is a form of diplomacy. So you're doing it. You say you do war politically. It's politics by other means. So you can't get out of it by saying that this was a political decision on this medical procedure. Because it doesn't matter. Because war is politics by other means. And now you've taken my kids and poisoned a couple of them, along with some in-laws and some friends, and that's war, you bastards. Am I going to be able to do anything about it? No, I already said that. All I know is when the Chinese come for you, or some other group comes after you on the street, you cops and you military, when this country goes down, I'm not setting foot to help your asses to survive. You can go to hell and rot and have the birds eat your flesh. This evil is unbelievable. Anyone who supports, and I realize that Trump's not in office, but letting him get away with this in any way, shape, or form, both now, I mean, we could talk about everything, but everything that was done for the shutdown and everything else, and in pushing these GMIs, he won't stop. I don't care if he says it's not going to, I wouldn't mandate it. Wait, the damage has been done because of what he's done and continues to do. So AJ and all of you other people out there that are licking his ass, you're going to hell, buddies. Every last jack one of you. Because you're doing it knowingly. Trying to play the balance so you can stay in the game. Well, that isn't going to work this time. It may have worked in Vietnam. And it may have worked in Iraq. It may have worked in Desert Storm. And Iraqi freedom. But it isn't going to work on this because they're coming for your families, you idiots. And Trump's pushing it along. He doesn't want to go after Hunter Biden because he might hurt a family. What a narcissistic buffoon asshole. All right. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this. This is so serious now. I'm going to change the subject just for a few minutes. I saw someone was kind enough to send me a video about how, and I should have probably put it in the description box, but it's probably not important. What it is, it's a video talking about numbers, about distances, the diameter of the moon, the diameter of the earth, the diameter of the sun, and how those numbers relate to each other and how they relate to mankind. And the bottom line was this, and this is the important part of the video. And like I said, you don't know what I'm talking about, and I didn't put it in the description box, but it was very good. It's a bearded man. He's probably in his late, probably 60s or so, and he's talking about all these different, that the ancients knew about these measurements and how they related to each other, and how it proves that our civilization has been far more advanced than the assholes that run the world now are willing to admit. We're actually behind schedule in a lot of ways. Yeah, the golden ratio is an example, but that's not what he was talking about. He may have mentioned it, but there were other things more than that. But anyway, the bottom line was, when you melt it all down to what it really means, that mankind, in the way he's built and in the place that he is, the place that we are in the universe, and some of you have probably heard this before, we're right in the middle. The expanse of the universe out there and the expanse of the universe that goes in, how small it goes, mankind is directly in the center. You have the universe out and the universe in, and we're right there. We're right in the middle, size-wise, between those two things, which shows you that there really is a purpose for us, and that we are of extreme importance to the Creator to have put us in this position. That's the bottom line of that presentation. And I don't know if I'm making it clear to you. Again, as big as the universe is, and as big as the subatomic, everything that's smaller than us, we're in between. It goes back to in Abraham. There was Ai, which was the world, and Bethel, which was the house of God, and he planted a tree in the middle to symbolize where man is. And that was obviously the same thing that I've just told you just now. Not just the balance between the spiritual and the physical, but where man is in the universe and what we really are in the image of God, which these bastards have been trying to destroy for hundreds, if not thousands of years. There are some other things that this gentleman talked about, and I'm just going to mention it quick. A lot of people know about, I forget what it's called, but Tartaria and the mud flood and all of these different things, about civilizations that have been here and then have gone. And the big question is, why don't we find them? Well, sometimes we do. But I want to tell you something that you might find interesting. Those of you who've read the Bible or the book of Enoch, you'll know that Enoch was taken by God. He didn't suffer death. He was translated immediately and went into the other worlds. Well, he wasn't the only one. His entire city that he guided had reached such a level that God took the entire city. It didn't sink in the ground. It didn't sink in the sea. God took it to his abode with all those people. The same thing happened with the city of Salem, where Melchizedek, you will know him as Melchizedek, did the same thing that Enoch did, and his city was taken, and God put them where he is in his abode. So many of the civilizations that have existed prior to this weren't necessarily destroyed, killed in that fashion. They were taken from this world, placed in the next one, before God cleaned off the earth, not just in the situation with the flood, but entire cities, entire civilizations were saved. It's not a rapture. Don't confuse it with a rapture. I guess for lack of a better term, you can say that, but it's not the same thing that the Christians try to make with Revelation. It's not the same thing. But regardless, a lot of those civilizations achieved what needed to be achieved, and they're still here, but they're in the other side, in the super ordered part of the universe. We're subordered. I talked about super order when I talked about the Shroud of Turin. So I wanted you to know that. I don't know if that's going to happen this time. You know, we read the scriptures, and by the way, I'm in the spiritual side of it now, if you didn't already figure that out. Supposedly, there's a remnant this time. It's not going to be a large civilization. It's a remnant that's taken from here and from there and different places. That's the way I look at it at this point. I don't see it as being like a whole city taken up this time or taken in. Again, don't confuse this with the rapture. The Christian idea of the rapture is not this thing. But I wanted to let you know that that's a lot of the reasons why we haven't been able to find, not only that the Smithsonian and people like that have hidden these historical evidences of these civilizations having been, but also because they were taken up or moved across. So that's something to consider, another reason to seek righteousness and piety. You can forget all of the other nonsense in the religions, even the Torah. You can forget all of it. And I know I'm going to make some people mad here. Felicia's probably going to say, oh, wait a minute, Roy. No, I'm going to tell you because it really is true. Love God and love your fellow man, and the rest will work itself out. I guess I could say some more things, but I wanted to try to end on a nice note because I was very upset, and I still am. I'm not going to answer any questions on the chat. I think I've told you that, I can't really see the chat because it's so bright out here, especially now with all of the snow. It's very hard to see the chat. I guess that's all I need to say. I've blown my top. I mean, this has affected me from the beginning anyway. I've had friends and all that. I've had friends hospitalized, die, and I thought that maybe my family, even if the world didn't listen, I thought my family would. Oh, I think most of them have, but how much can they endure? I don't know. I came out to a Costco today, and these people are such slaves. I can't believe it. It just, I hate coming out amongst the people anymore. Pass this on to AJ, whatever way you can. I on Twitter I send it to Newsbound. That's I don't know what Greg Reese's is, but Newsbound, you'll see it on there. It's Mr. Bounds, who's a reporter on InfoWars, does really good reports. I send it to him. I send them to Christy Lee. And since I don't know Greg Reese's and I don't know anybody else's, conveniently they've been taken off Twitter, but I think some of them stay off of there so they don't get stuff like this from me. I really do believe that. Uh, I'll also send it to Gerald Celente, Tom Pappert, Joe Rogan, Glenn Beck, Tucker Carlson. Hopefully that somebody will get to AJ and tell him at least that there's somebody ranting and raving against him for his failures to truly save the children, AJ. You can't save the children unless you get Trump to stop this nonsense because too many people are still listening to him. I guess that's all I've got. Thanks for coming, and my old statements of prep, pray, stay out of the way, but don't let them kill your family. Self-defense to protect them is justified. I don't give a damn who is coming after them or how. Keep your eyes on the horizon, your ears to the ground, and keep your situational awareness on high. See y'all later.